Hello student, today I will explain the summary of this chapter, the countryside under the company rule from history, chapter number 3. How the company becomes Diwan. First of all, we rise in our mind this question that how the company become a Diwan and how the company get the power to the colonial, that the Diwaning of the Bengal, Bihar and Odisha was granted to the East India Company on 12th August 1765 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. And what happened by the giving the Diwani? They become a power, and Bengal was legalized and the revenue of the most prosperous of Indian provinces placed at its command. Totally, its command goes to the company, British company. Okay. Now, as a chief financial administrator of the land under their control. After that, after getting the Diwan, that the Diwani, that the company financial administration under their control. The company decided to increase its revenue sources to meet the growing expansion of the company. Day by day, company expenses growing. That's why they want to increase their financial position. And we can see in this chapter, know in this by this chapter that the how they fulfill their need and how they get financial. As time passed by, the company also learned that it is had to move very carefully. Since they were a foreign power, they had to pacify those who in the past had ruled the countryside and enjoyed authority and prestige. Those who had lent local power were to be controlled but not entirely eliminated. In this chapter, we will read about how the company came to the rule to the countryside, organize revenue resources and produce the crops it wanted. What they wanted, they cultivated the crops. Okay. And our first topic is sources of revenue. How they get the revenue and what they did for getting the revenue, for getting increase the revenue. The company wanted to increase the revenue without setting up any fixed system of assessment and collection. And what happened? The revenue of the Bengal made them rich enough to do so. Bengal, that time Bengal and Bihar is the most rich state, and that's why the revenue of the Bengal made them rich enough to do so. This had a dreadful effect on the economic Bengal, which occurred. What happened after that? That the company forcing them to sell at cheap prices, moreover a disaster famine. What happened? Even 1717 disaster famine, at that they wiped out 1/3 of the population, killing 10 million people. That famine killed the 10 million people that time. The next, what is their step? What they taken a step, that the permanent settlement. And day by day they were planning to get the financially get to how they exploit here workers here the and they adopted the permanent settlement. They planned to permanent settlement. The economics was run, and the most company officials felt that investment in land had to be encouraged. What they think, that the investment of the land had to be encouraged. And what they happened? After prolonged discussion, the permanent settlement was introduced in Bengal and Bihar, and by Lord Cornwallis in 1793. It had two features. And what is the feature of the permanent settlement? First features, that the Jamindar, Raja, Talukdar and revenue collector were converted into so many landlords. This is the first feature. And in fact, the tenant of the Bengal and Bihar were left entirely at the mercy of Jamindar, and tenant of Bengal and Bihar totally depend on the mercy of the Jamindar. And second, the Jamindar were give to 10 upon 11th of the rental they deprived from the peasantry to the state, keeping only 1 upon 11th for themselves. And that's why some to be paid by them as land revenue were fixed permanently. If the rental of Jamindar estate increased owing to extension of cultivation and improvement in agriculture or the capacity to extract more from his tenant, the initial fixed revenue was made arbitrarily. Arbitrary means मनमाने ढंग से revenue collection करना with the Jamindar. Therefore, the rates of the revenue fixed were very high. And what happened? One result of the high land revenue demanded was that nearly half the Jamindar lands were put up for sale between 1794 and 1807. Neither the Jamindar nor the cultivator or tenant had an interest in improving the land. Only what is their interest? To get revenue, not interested to encourage the landlord, encourage the peasant. Only what they want to get more and more revenue. The cultivator found the arrangement miserable. And what happened? Their peasant, their cultivator's life very miserable. But some benefits also. In this permanent settlement, some benefits. And what is the benefits? The British official realized that their rules would be unstable unless they acquired local support. What they want? That the local supporters. Okay? And they brought into existence a wealthy and privileged class of Jamindar. And what they think, that they give the privileged class of Jamindar that owed it existence to British rule and who would therefore be compelled by its own basic interest to support it. Secondly, benefit, what is that the permanent settlement guaranteed stability of income, collection of revenue through a small number of Jamindar. And the third permanent settlement was expected to increase agricultural production. Since the land revenue would not be increased in future, the Jamindar would be inspired to extend cultivation and improve agricultural productivity as was being done in Britain by its landlord. And some the permanent settlement also spread in the state of Madras, Varanasi, Central India, Awadh, and also the British introduced a temporary Jamindari settlement. Under this Jamindari were made owner of land, but the revenue they had to pay was revised periodically. And the second system, first system was that the permanent settlement, and the second Mahalwadi system, What is the meaning of the Mahalwari? The word Mahalwari is derived from the Urdu word Mahal, meaning a house. That the northeastern province of Bengal Presidency, parts of central India and the Punjab, the revenue settlement was to be made village by village and also collected family of the heads of the family. Okay. The heads of the Mahal or the village headman collected the tax from the village and handed it over to the government. The Malwari system are devised by Holt Mackenzie. That system was devised by the Lord Mackenzie, and this system was devised by the Holt Mackenzie. And the next system, what is the Royatwari system? The establishment of the British rule in South and Southern West India brought new problem of land settlement. And what they sort out this type of problem? They also pointed out that under the permanent settlement the company was a financially loser, as it had to share the revenue with the jamindar and could not claim a share of the growing income from land. And what they do? Under the Royatwari system, the cultivator was to be recognized as the owner of his plot. Okay. In this previous system, that the landlord was not owner, but in the Royatwari system, what is the improvement? That they get a owner of his land. The supporter claimed that it was a continuous of the state of affair that had existed in the past. What Monroe said, that it is the system which had always prevailed in India. It means Royatwari system already existed in India. The Royatwari system settlement did not bring into existence a system of peasant ownership. The peasants soon realized that a large number of jamindar had been replaced by one big jamindar, the state, and they were mere government tenant whose land was sold if they failed to punctually pay land revenue. An effect of this system means the permanent settlement, Mahalwari system, the Royatwari system. What is the effect of this type of system? All the above mentioned land revenue system had to be improvement of the rural population. Everybody exploited the peasant and there were frequent agrarian riots. The position of the landlord was reduced to being mere rent collectors. And earlier people paid tax in kind. Now whenever the peasant or the jamindar were unable to pay revenue in cash in time, the government auctioned his land and or else the peasant sold part of his land. In this way, land became sellable and transferable. The revenue system encouraged competition and individualism. People started producing for the market instead of fulfilling the needs of village population. Growth of commercial crops. Next point is, with the introduction of new revenue system, peasants began to produce more and more cash crop. And what is the cash crop? The indigo, cotton, sugarcane. It is called the jute. It is called the commercial crops. In various parts of India, the official persuaded the cultivator to produce other crops like the jute in Bengal, wheat in Punjab, tea in Assam, rice in Madras, sugarcane in Uttar Pradesh and cotton in Maharashtra. And next, the cultivation of indigo. First of all, commercial crop, indigo. The color indigo has often been associated with political power or religious ritual. It had held a significant place in many world civilizations for thousands of years. Furthermore, our Hindu god Krishna, all of you have seen that the Hindu god Krishna is more often depicted in color. The indigo dye comes from a leguminous plant of indigo fera genus of different species of indigo, and some types of indigo are very famous and it used very in the India. That type of indigo was cultivated in India, and Indian indigo was most demanded in other country. The dye was first mentioned in the history of Herodotus, who described its use in the Mediterranean area. Indigenous variety of indigo began to be cultivated by Spain. Other country also cultivated this type of indigo, and they increased the plantation of Honduras and the Pacific slopes of Central America in the 1560. The French began cultivation indigo in Saint Domingo in Caribbean, the Portugal in Brazil, the English in Jamaica, and the Spanish in Venezuela. And come to the next point, that the hour, especially in Indian indigo. Faced with the rising demand for indigo in Europe, the British in India looked for various other way to expand the area under indigo cultivation. About 15 species of indigo fera were found growing in Bengal, only Bengal region, and the best soil for growing indigo plant were those found in Jaisore and Krishnanagar and the Champaran district of Bihar. And where the in India cultivated indigo? Widely cultivated. Nadia, Bogra, Rangpur and Dhaka. Attracted by the prospects of high profit, numerous Scotsmen and Englishmen came to India and became planter. Also, Englishmen and Scotsmen also came here India to become a planter. Those who had no money could get loans from the company banks that were coming up during that time. How indigo was cultivated? What is the process of the cultivation of indigo? Indigo was cultivated under two main systems, niche and royalty. The niche system of cultivation, the planter produced indigo in land directly controlled. Niche means own. He bought the land or rented it from other jamindar and produced indigo by directly employing hired labor. Okay. Therefore, the planter found it difficult to expand the area under niche cultivation. And the planter required large tract of land to cultivation indigo. From where could they produce large area? They therefore attempt to lease in the land around the indigo factory. A large plantation required a large number of hands to operate, and labor was not always available when required. Besides, labor and where the labor was engaged in the cultivation of the rice. And what is the niche cultivation? Niche cultivation on a wide scale also required many plugs and bullock. So till the late 19th century, planters were reluctant to expand the area under niche cultivation. 25% of the land producing indigo was under this system. The rest opted for an alternative mode of cultivation, the rotary system. And the next, what is the rotary system? Under the rotary system, the royals were forced by the planter to sign a contract, that is an agreement. After the crop was delivered to the planter, a new loan was given for the cycle to start all over again. The peasant who in the beginning were tempted by the loan and found the system were very harsh. There were other reasons too. The planter insisted that indigo be produced on the best of soil. And what the planter wanted? That the best soil is cultivated for the rice. That's why they rejected to their offer. And what happened after that? Revolt started. Indigo revolt started. The Indigo Revolt was Indigo farmer uprising against the indigo planter in 1859. It started in February-March 1859. The first price laid by the planter was meager, only 25% to the market price. So the farmer could make no profit by growing indigo. The farmers were totally unprotected from brutal indigo planter who resorted to mortgaging their properties if they were unwilling to obey them. By the Act in 1833, planters were granted a free hand for operation. The revolt started from Nadia, Vishnu Charan Biswas and Digambar Biswas first took up arms against the planter. It spread like a wildfire in Murshidabad, Birbhum, Bardhaman, etc. Indigo planters were put under public trial and executed. The indigo depots were burnt down. Many planters fled to avoid being caught. And after that, the revolt was directed against British planters who behaved like feudal lords in their state. From the beginning of the 19th century, many officers of the East India Company acquired land for the Indian Jamindar in Bihar and Bengal and began large-scale cultivation of indigo. The strike spread too, and these revolt spread to the Jessore, Kundalana, Dhaka, Malda and other places in Bengal. And after that, fearing this revolt, the company officials fled away from the Bengal. And where they went? They went to the Bihar, Champaran. The Bengal indigo planter developed cold feet and gradually moved to Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. And in 1866 to 1868, Darbhanga and Champaran in Bihar witnessed agitation by indigo farmer. And what? There a farmer started, here also started revolution, unwanted revolt, and they started revolt. The final blow to growing indigo came when a synthetic dye was invented, and finally they cope up with this type of exploitation by the invention of the synthetic dye. But indigo plantation continue in Bihar. In 1970, it was the efforts of Mahatma Gandhi that finally brought relief to the poor peasant of Champaran. And this chapter is finished. Thank you.